So, welcome to another episode of Demystifying Cancer. So, let's start with our questions. Sir, today in India, there are a lot of young people getting cancer so easily, sir. What do you think of it, and how is it that there is a higher raise in India, sir?
The one thing which changed over a period of time is, like if you see me as a kid, I was sleeping at 8 o'clock every day in the night. But now if you see my kid, they are thinking about sleeping by 10 o'clock in the night. So we have lost our self-discipline. And also if you see the eating habit, always I say cancer is nothing but sugar balls inside your body. That is a hypermetabolic cells which is present inside the body. So why you are producing lot of sugars inside the body? One thing, the sugars which we eat, like when we say people to stop sugars, they'll say, okay, I'm not taking white sugar. But is it only white sugar, only the sugar? It's not. So if you look at the Indian diet, like now, every one of us are fond of eating rice in different forms, or we are eating maida in different forms, or we are eating wheat in different forms. Culturally we may differ. However, most of our 80% of our diet is carbohydrate rich diet. And along with that, if you look at the statistics across the world, India is poorly sleeping nation, India is poorly exercising nation. These both are two vital components which trigger inflammation and oxidative stress inside the body. So as much as we are eating, we are not exercising. And what we are eating the ones which are triggering inflammation inside the body. We are obese as a nation, we are diabetic capital of the world, we are 2 or 3 places in the cancers, and this all is summated to there is something wrong with the metabolism of our younger adults in the world. So the BMI is really high for most of our adults, and we are struggling to lose weight, we are struggling to fall asleep. This is the primary reason where we get cancers in the younger generation. And along with that, if you know, there are no places without Wi-Fi. As a child, we had only one cell phone tower around our home. Now we have one company here, another company here, and we are in an electromagnetic radiation environment. All these are basically leading to the trigger of changes in the internal milieu of the body. And even you are sleeping, you are not sleeping deep. So you are producing sugar because you are anxious, you are stressful because of different reasons, and you are producing sugar inside the body, which is slowly feeding the sugar balls, that is your cancer cells inside the body, which is leading to drastic changes in our cellular level, and we are getting cancers.
Okay, sir. So everything revolving around this lifestyle, I don't think we can escape this sort of lifestyle today, sir. But is there anything to identify earlier, to detect anything earlier, sir? Is there any warning sign for this that I can prevent myself?
Yeah. So if you see, as you rightly told, we cannot escape from having metabolic dysfunctions. We can call it cancer, we can call it diabetes mellitus. That is as per our convenience and the convenience of your doctor. If you just look at the statistics now in India, for every 9 people, 1 person will be getting cancer in their lifetime. That is a present statistics released by ICMR. So in this particular scenario, yes, there are definitely lot of warning signs we get earlier. As I told from the beginning, cancer is something to do with your metabolism. So what are the early warning signs we get for cancer? One is like if you're feeling tired unusually, okay? It is not necessarily that you got cancer, but it is something that your metabolism is not proper. If you're not falling asleep, again you can think that there is something issue. So you need to start exercising or kind of changing your diet or looking into your nutraceutical supplements, what you want to do. Or if you are suddenly finding there is some discoloration in the skin, you are getting too much of pimples, or your periods are getting irregular, or you are getting some darkish discoloration under your skins, under your underarms. So this is another thing. Or you are getting too much of acidity or gas formation, or kind of diarrhea and constipation you are getting, or you are getting something to do with the fatty liver is coming for you. So when you are going for a diagnosis, or it is something like that you are suddenly diagnosed with diabetes, or you are getting a psoriasis, skin conditions. These are basically signaling at you should look into your metabolism. You don't need a diagnosis per se to get some treatments, okay? So you can reverse your metabolic dysfunction back to normal, and considering this as the landmark area where we should be focusing and concentrating. And most of us, like whatever symptoms I told, we all feel fatigued at some point of time. We all feel that there is some changes in the skin. We all feel that the stomach is getting bloated unnecessarily. So it is not a diagnosis of cancer at that point of time, but it is definitely a diagnosis of a metabolic dysfunction. So we at integrative oncology setting where we have in Miracle, whenever a cancer patient is coming, we are not interested in how his scan is looking in. We are interested in how is metabolism is looking at. So that's why we just look into what are their iron levels. We check for the ferritins. If there is too much of iron, that signifies that there is something wrong with the metabolism. Or we also look into lactate dehydrogenase, LDH, which is again a prognostic marker, metabolic marker for cancer. We look for if there is a problem with the immunoglobulins like IgE, IgM, which is basically showing that there is a gut dysfunction. So we also look into their insulin levels, their zinc levels, their copper levels, their liver functions, their kidney functions. When we look into this, for us managing cancer becomes more easy rather than just looking into the scans, which are the outcome of the deep-seated metabolic dysfunction. So looking into your metabolic changes, are you able to digest your food properly? You are seeing vegetables coming out of your stool, or your urine is becoming frothy, or your sweat is become too smelly. So these are simple signs that I don't feel comfortable about calling cancer. I say that there is a simple signs, there is metabolic dysfunction. You can call it in any name you want, but metabolic dysfunction is the early sign of any disease which you want to name it later, and it is the same for the cancer as well.
That was very crystal clear, sir. So we need not panic and do some expensive tests or imaging tests. Rather, all these minor symptoms, we should have treated our root cause. Am I right, sir? Yeah. So we are coming to know about a lot of myths and new facts about cancer and what are the early signs in cancer. So for more interesting facts, let's see in another episode.